The Ford Mustang Mach-E. I think by now a lot of the car enthusiasts, especially Mustang enthusiasts, have moved on from the fact that Ford's new electric SUV carries the Mustang name and badge. But I don't know if many of you remember this, during the development of the Mach-E, this all-electric SUV was actually teased as the Ford Mach-1. And oh man, people went nuts, and it was quickly reversed after a lot of opposition from true Ford fans and Mustang fans. And I'm about to get them worked up some more. My name is Omar, and this is the 2022 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. Now here's the part where Mach-1 fans get really upset with me. You don't have an official launch control in this thing, so... Oh man, some tires chirping. Just like the new Mach-1, the Mustang Mach-E GT makes 480 horsepower, but it's quicker to 60, doing it in 3.8 seconds. Who's the real Mustang now? All right, enough of that Mustang comparison. Of course, a real Mustang is where it's at, but after driving the Mach-E GT around for a week, I think this does right by the Mustang name and carries it with pride. The Mach-E GT that I'm testing here has two motors, one in the front, one in the back, making this all-wheel drive, and working together, they make a total of 480 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque. And this isn't even the fastest Mach-E GT. If you throw on the performance package and turn this into the Mach-E GT Performance, you get the same horsepower, but torque is turned up to 634. Again, 0 to 60 comes in at 3.8 seconds, but if you go for the GT Performance, that will do it in 3.5, which is the same as its direct competitor, the Tesla Model Y Performance. So yes, it carries the Mustang name with pride, but this is an electric SUV and it's going directly after the Tesla Model Y. Is it a worthy competitor? Should you buy it over the Tesla? Let's find out. But first, let me give you a quick tour. I'll break down the electric stats of the Mach-E GT. We'll take a look at the outside, we'll get to know the inside a little bit better, and then I'll take it for a drive and let you know if you should buy it over the Tesla. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button to help me get to 100,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's kick this off by talking about the most important bits. Let's talk about the power, the range you get on a full charge, and the charge times. Now let's get into the range and the charge times. The Mach-E GT gets a total of 270 miles on a full charge. If you throw on the performance package, that gets dropped to 260 miles. The Model Y Performance is a part of the 300-mile club with a total of 303 miles on a full charge, so this is a bit behind. So how long will it take you to charge this thing? Using the standard Ford mobile charger that comes with the Mach-E and charging at a level 2, 240 volt and 32 amps will take you 14 hours to go from 0 to 100%. Now, if you wanted to charge faster than that, you'll have to spend some money, a total of $800 for the Ford Connected Charge Station. That will give you up to 48 amps of charging power, and it will allow you to go from 0 to 100% in 10 hours. Now, if you're out and about and you find a DC charging station that's open, you're not waiting, and if it's working, you can go from 10 to 80% in just 45 minutes. Now, Ford recommends unplugging at 80% and going about your way, but just so you know that going from 80% to 100% can take you another hour and 45 minutes or so. Now let's talk about the exterior design really quick. I think this looks 10 times better than the Tesla Model Y. Now, I reviewed the Mach-E non-GT a little over a year ago. I really liked the design back then, and I still like it now. I'm digging the extra aggressive look on the Mach-E GT with these really cool set of 20-inch wheels. The GT Performance, though, has even a better looking set of wheels. Those wheels look really nice. They're also 20 inches. The GT also gets a grille, which is not real obviously, but it makes it look more aggressive. You also have a front splitter, which gives it a really nice stance. And of course, Grabber Blue is probably the best color of any Mustang and any Ford ever. But yeah, this obviously has a lot of Mustang design cues like the really long hood, but my favorite angle of this is from the front. It has a very tough presence from the front end, which is not something you see on most electric cars. The headlamps look really sharp. Obviously, they look a lot like the Mustang headlamps, and you have sequential turn signals on this. And this Mustang pony on the front grille actually lights up at night, and it looks super dope. From the side, it has a fastback style, also inspired by the Mustang, and while it looks like that this has a sloping roofline, if you look closely, you'll see that the roof is actually higher. That's a pretty cool trick by painting the top part black and making the sloping part body colored. Looks really nice. From the back, the Mustang inspiration continues with the taillights. These look exactly like Mustang taillights, and they also have sequential turn signals. Now moving back over to the side, you'll notice that you don't have any door handles. So to open the door, you just walk up and push this little button here, and the door opens very slightly. Then you pull this latch to open it the rest of the way. Same thing happens on the back, but the back doesn't have a tiny latch, so you just push the button and stick your hand in and pull it open. Now let's check out the inside of the Mach-E GT, but before we get in there, let's stick to how you get in and out. Once you're inside, to get out, you just pull this little latch right here and push open the door. That's pretty cool. But yeah, once you're inside, there aren't any major differences between each trim level of the Mach-E. The GT here looks a little bit cooler with the GT logo right here on the center console cover. The GT also gets a set of bucket seats in the front that are actually very, very comfortable, but just like every Mach-E, this is all a vegan interior. There's no leather, it's all PETA cow friendly, whatever that rating is. But yeah, there's no leather, it's all vegan materials. The GT also gets some copper stitching and piping throughout the cabin, so it looks a little bit more aggressive, I guess. But like every Mach-E, the major attraction on the inside is this giant 15.5-inch center display with the Sync 4 infotainment system. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time going through this, but you can split this up into 4 sections. The top part is for your profile and some quick shortcuts. The middle part right here is your main screen, so this will house your navigation, your Apple CarPlay, and every other setting that you have in here. Then you have this little area right here with some shortcuts. Now this will display some items that you use frequently, or you can adjust this. And you also have a sketch pad in here. If you get bored while you're charging, you can draw something, but you can't watch Netflix like you can on the Tesla Model Y. The bottom layer right here consists of all your climate controls. You also have a button for your heated seats and your heated steering. If you hit this button right here, that will pop open a larger menu screen where you can adjust different modes, and you can turn your AC on and off or circulate your air, whatever you want to do in here. The overall performance of this system isn't bad, but it isn't really smooth either. It'll hang up here and there with some slow animations, especially when you first start it up, but once you get going and you go about your day, it performs a little bit better and better, but it won't totally crap out on you. Oh, and the best part about this interior compared to the Model Y, it actually has a gauge cluster. It's tiny, but at least you can see how fast you're going and how much range you have. Let's talk space really quick. Rear legroom for the Mach-E comes in at 38.1 inches. I'm about 6 foot tall. That is my seating position. As you can see, I still have plenty of room. It is very comfortable back here for 3 passengers to sit for a long road trip. If you can take one, if you have the range. Storage-wise, you have this area under this bridge where you can put a purse or a handbag. You also have some more storage under the armrest. Lift it up, slide this back, and there you go. There's some more storage to throw in some items that you don't want to carry around or have visible. As for cargo capacity, you can pop open the tailgate by doing the kick to motion, or there's a button located right here. And once you get it opened, you have a total of 30 cubic feet behind the second row. And with the 60-40 split rear seats, you can open that up to 60 cubic feet. So yeah, it is pretty spacious back here. And of course, since this is an electric car, you do have a frunk. It has 4.7 cubic feet worth of space, but the cooler thing here is that you can use it for tailgating. If you're about that party or camping life, you can actually put ice in the whole frunk, and once it starts melting, you have a drain hole right here so the water can seep through. That's pretty clever. And you also have 2 cup holders to get the party really going, but only with 2 people. Now, before I take the Mach-E GT for a drive, let me point out a few random important things that I love to show all of you. You have 4 cup holders, 2 in the front for the front passengers, and then you have 2 in the back right there for the rear passengers. Here are what the keys look like to the Mach-E GT. You've got the Mustang Pony on the back right there. Ford does not expect you to use this key. They expect you to use Ford Pass and your smartphone to get around in your Mach-E GT. Door open and close sound from the outside and from the inside. Solid. Charging game-wise, you're working with a USB-C port, a USB-A port, and a wireless charger right there. Rear passengers are working with a USB-C port and a USB-A port. You better believe if I'm sitting back here with somebody, I'm fighting for that USB-C port. It is now time for an indicator and horn sound test, this time with the 2022 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. Indicator first. Pretty standard. Now for the horn sound. Oh yeah, that is nice. Solid. By the way, if you have a tailgate party out of your frunk, what is it called? A front gate? So yes, the performance is mind-blowing, but how is this as a daily driver? Does it feel too electric-ish, or does it feel like driving a regular SUV? To be completely honest, the only time I thought I was driving an electric vehicle was when the range was falling and when I was at a charging station charging it. Other than that, the ride quality in here is just as normal as a compact SUV, if not a little bit better since this is a GT. Now, we have a bunch of new electric SUVs. You have the Hyundai Ioniq 5, you have the Volkswagen ID4, and the new Volvo C40 Recharge, all of which I've already reviewed, so check those out. And you also have the Kia EV6, which I'll be testing later this month, so make sure you look out for that. I would say the Mach-E GT specifically is more comparable to the C40. It has a very balanced and tight ride, but it is slightly smoother. Compared to the Ioniq 5, that felt much smoother than this, but it had more of a jerkiness type of motion in stop-and-go traffic. This doesn't have that wafty, jerky feel to it, and that could be due to the fact that this is the more performance-oriented GT, but again, with most electric cars, when you have one pedal turned on, you will feel that jerkiness because it's braking for you. So you accelerate, you let go, and some people who are not used to electric cars might not like that, but with the one pedal turned off, this feels very well balanced. Now here's an interesting fact. The Mach-E GT here weighs over 4,900 pounds, which is more than 1,000 pounds more than the Mustang GT, the real Mustang GT. Just thought you'd like to know that. Now, when it comes to handling, it's pretty sharp, but don't expect it to be as sharp as a sports car. The steering feel and weight is pretty nice and tight. You'll have some body roll like you do with most SUVs, but it is very minimal. But yeah, overall, this is a very smooth daily driver. The seats and the overall interior is very comfortable. And see, that's the thing I like about electric cars. Since you don't have a transmission tunnel or other components, the interior feels very spacious. I mean, the rear legroom in here is very generous. No matter if you're sitting in the front or the back, a ride in the Mach-E GT will be very relaxing. Unless, of course, your driver is a jerk and constantly wants to show off how fast their electric car can accelerate. It can get a little annoying. Now, you do have 3 drive modes to pick from. You have Whisper, Engage, and Unbridled, because of that pony Mustang analogy. Unbridled, listen to the sound. I don't know if you can hear that. Listen to it again. That sounds better than the BMW i4 that I just tested, and that has sounds produced by Hans Zimmer. Ford knows how to do sound better than Hans Zimmer. That said, how does this compare to the Tesla Model Y? The Model Y Performance, to be specific. In my opinion, this looks much better than the Model Y. The exterior design is 1,000 times more stylish. The interior is also much nicer and more premium than the Model Y. And no matter how much you Tesla fans try to deny it, Tesla's quality is questionable. And that's something that shouldn't be the case at that price tag. And the fact that this has a gauge cluster, unlike the Model Y, is enough of a reason for me to buy this over that. Of course, it all comes down to one thing, as it does with any other car: the price tag. Let me break it down for you. So yeah, let's focus on the pricing of the Mach-E GT specifically. Starting at $61,995, the Mach-E GT appears to be about $6,000 cheaper than the Tesla Model Y Performance. But if you really want to compare apples to apples or voltage to voltage, you'll have to add on the Performance package for an extra $6,000, which makes the Mach-E GT actually cost $5 more than the Model Y Performance. But yeah, at that price tag, essentially everything you see here is standard. On the outside, lighting game-wise, you get LED headlamps and LED daytime running lights. On the back, you get these really cool LED tail lights, and you get the awesome illuminated front pony badge. Again, the GT also comes standard with 20-inch wheels, and behind those wheels, you'll have red brake calipers on the front and on the back. Inside, most of the tech stuff that you see here is standard, with both the digital gauge cluster display and the giant center display, since they are the main focus of the cabin. Sound system wise, you're working with the upgraded 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. You also have a wireless charging pad as standard. You get dual zone climate control, so you don't get in a fight with your spouse. You get an 8-way power adjustable driver's seat with memory settings, and you also get an 8-way power adjustable passenger seat. Some Mach-Es actually have a manual adjustable passenger seat. Like, at that point, come on, just make them both powered. If you go for the GT, you also get the comfort package as standard, so you'll get heated front seats. You'll also get a heated steering wheel to keep your hands warm. And then the comfort package also gives you the ability to kick open your power tailgate, because that's more comfortable than just pushing the button. The only 2 important optional features that you will have to pick from include a panoramic fixed glass roof, which I don't have, but that will cost you an extra $1,500. And then if you want some advanced driver assist tech, you can pay an extra $1,900 for the Ford Co-Pilot 360 Active 2.0, which gives you a 360 camera and Blue Cruise hands-free driving tech. I've used Blue Cruise here and there. It isn't available everywhere. I think they have mapped a total of 100,000 miles, but it's pretty nice. Oh, and just so you know, at the time of recording this, if you were to order a Mach-E GT today, The estimated delivery time is about 32 weeks, which is the same as the Model Y Performance. In fact, the demand for the Mach-E is so strong that Ford has even stopped taking orders for the most popular trims, the Premium and the California Route 1. If you go to Ford's website and go to the Mach-E page, you'll see it say, due to high demand, 2022 Premium and California Route 1 models are not available for order. Extremely limited inventory available at selected dealers. Meaning, as it currently stands, there's an $18,000 difference between the base Mach-E and the Mach-E GT. And that's not a bad problem to have. Well, at least for Ford, for customers, it sucks. But that speaks to the fact that whether or not calling this a Mustang was the right decision doesn't matter. Whether or not Tesla's charging network is more superior, which is always the argument to buy a Tesla over any other electric car, that doesn't matter. Because as an electric car that's available for sale right now, this, like the Model Y, is one of the best options out there. Either way, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. My handle is @OmarDrives. I'll catch you guys at the next one. Take care. Peace. Oh, that sounds so good. I like that unbridled sound. Really, I have to go back and listen to the BMW i4 sound. I really think this sounds much better. And this is actually quicker to 60 than the BMW i4 eDrive 40 that I drove. Maybe not the M50, but a compact electric, or compact SUV that's this quick, it's so surprising.